Ladies and gentlemen, we were supposed to have been live an hour ago. I was about dead in the bed sick, but I have risen from the dead to make sure that this podcast happened tonight. I'm feeling a little bit better. As you see, my co-host is Mr. Josh Steele. How are you doing, Mr. Steele?
I'm doing great. And you, sir? Glad to see you're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. This is the Cold Hard Facts podcast. I decided to fire back and get stepped back off into the podcast game for many reasons. One reason I miss it. This way I get to, this podcast is ran the way I want it to be ran. And we've got some pretty cool topics and segments that we're going to do along the way. One of the things that we're also going to do tonight is we're going to take the WWE completely card from, whether it be the entire thing, every member of the WWE roster. We're going to go through that WWE roster. We're going to throw away the bullshit members. I actually stole this idea from Jim Cornette. It's not my idea. It's actually a thing I heard him do on his show. We're going to get rid of all the bullshit people. And I'm telling you, there is a lot of people. And after going through some of the, listening to them do it, I kind of get why they're cutting so damn many. They could actually cut about 30 more.
Yeah.
If they wanted to.
So don't realize how big the company is and how many people they actually employ. It's crazy.
Who the hell are you booing, Vince? Shut up. Let's see here. What's up, fellas? I don't know who that is. Facebook user. It ain't telling me. I guess you ain't registered.
If you click the link down below, it'll let you sign up.
I got a feeling it's a Briggy or someone, probably. I guarantee you. Let's see. Tonight we got on the card on Cold Hard Facts. We're going to talk about some of today's wrestling that's going on. The upcoming pay-per-views that are coming up this weekend. There's a big week of wrestling. We're going to jump into some news, and then we'll start the segment with the WWE card breakdown, and then then we're going to end it with the Cold Hard Facts segment, where I basically rant and rave because that's what everybody likes to hear for some reason. Like to hear me get pissed and kind of me go the fuck off. Now, I know on other podcasts, some shit was filtered a little bit that I was a part of. That is not the case here tonight. So if you have children, this is not probably the podcast for them. I'm probably going to be dropping a lot of fucking bombs and and things of that nature. And cut the bullshit. Other podcasts I was a part of, I was kind of filtered I was filtered not to hurt feelings. This podcast will probably not be ran that way. If you don't like what I got to say, you don't have to fucking watch me. Let's put it that way.
Let's be honest. Wrestling shouldn't be PG-13 anyways. We need a little bit of unfiltered change.
Need a little bit of unfiltered. Hell, it seems like Facebook flags us for every fucking thing anyway these days. So what the hell? It matter anymore. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead and talk about some of today's product that's coming up. We got SummerSlam that's actually coming up this weekend. You also got NXT. Also got NXT's coming up. We'll see. You also got TNA's Impact's coming up. The big rumor that's going around. Let's go ahead and talk about it before we even get into anything else, which is CM Punk possibly showing up at Rampage. And I laugh at this whole idea of CM Punk showing up at Rampage because it's an hour-long show. Why the fuck would you waste something so big on a Friday night bullshit show that's just now starting to get the – I know some people say, well, it's a good way to launch it on off. It's not CM Punk. If anything, it's Ruby Riott. If it's anybody, yeah, it's probably Ruby Riott. It could possibly be Daniel Bryan. I'm not going to say 100% sure it is. I wouldn't waste Daniel Bryan on it either.
I wouldn't either.
I'm sorry.
I'm like you. Daniel I 100% think that CM Punk's going to be all out only.
Yeah. Daniel Bryanson, what we got to call him, I got to get that right now. He's not Daniel Bryan anymore. It's Daniel Bryanson. So I guess he'll always be Daniel Bryan to me, though. Let's see. What else is going on this weekend still? Also got
we got the 2 NWA shows coming up soon as well.
Yeah, the
NWA Empowerment, which is the all-women show ran by Mickie James.
Taking place actually in St. Louis, Missouri, just down the road from me. I'm not going to be able to go to it. I really wanted to go. I went on vacation. I went on vacation, so I can't bitch, you know.
Yep. It happened. SmackDown was just here last week, and I didn't get to make it, but I mean, it's still a great week in wrestling.
Raw's in Kansas sometime, but it's fucking Raw. And I'm not driving 2 hours to go see no Raw. I won't even watch this shit on TV, you know. So if it was a SmackDown, I might would for a SmackDown or an NXT for sure. I definitely drive it for an NXT, but for a Raw, hell to the no. Mm-mm. So they are selling Bad Superman.
NXT, this is the first year that NXT is getting the big spot over SummerSlam. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot.
They deserve it, man. They outshine them anyway. It don't matter. Their pay-per-views are so much better than the SummerSlam pay-per-views. The pay-per-view is going to be anyway. It's kind of like WrestleMania weekend. Most of the time, it's usually NXT's better than WrestleMania. The only thing I'm watching it for, and I hate to say this, for fucking Roman
versus Cena. Going to be a great match. I kind of think that Sheamus versus Priest is going to steal a little bit of attention. Damian Priest, he's a really hard worker, and he's been itching for his moment to shine.
Yeah, I like Damian Priest. Sheamus still puts on a good match. I don't care what people say about Sheamus. I know Sheamus gets a lot of flack, but he still puts on good matches, man. I don't care what anyone says. Let's see. I will go ahead and make a prediction between me and Steel right now, and we'll talk about it on the next podcast after this weekend. We'll go ahead and make a prediction. 5-star rating. How good is SummerSlam going to be?
3.5.
3.5. I'll go 3.5 with you because I think you're only going to have the Roman match. Unless they do something big. Unless there's some kind of big surprise. Now that if they brought Becky Lynch back at SummerSlam, I wouldn't be mad. If they did a couple other little surprises or something, I got a feeling that Sasha is about to take the damn belt back from Bianca.
I see that. Yeah. I kind of see Mahal going over on McIntyre.
Yeah, that could probably happen too. They're struggling right now. They're really struggling with like what they're going. At least they're going to bring like Adam Cole up from NXT or something might happen. But then
the rumors.
It's one of those things though, because after the way things go, it's that big pop. Adam Cole's on SmackDown or Adam Cole's on Raw. Oh shit! Adam Cole's on SmackDown and Adam Cole's on Raw. They're about to bury his fucking ass, and we might not even see him 6 months from now. That was pretty much what happened to damn Aleister Black and others. You know when they came up, you know, like they ain't did shit really with some of them. So,
I mean, look how many times they've brought Finn Balor up and sent him back down, and brought him up and sent him back down.
Yeah, sending him back to NXT was the best thing ever.
It was good for the brand, definitely.
Yeah, and then when I seen he come back and they put him against Roman, I just rolled my eyes. I just like.
And I know you got to be looking forward to that Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe match at Takeover. I know that's.
Yeah, rumor around the mill is Joe wins it.
No.
And Kross goes up. But then it makes me roll my eyes a little bit because I'm like, as much as I want Joe to be on top of something, like you just got done having Finn Balor as the NXT champion. Do you really turn around and bring Samoa Joe's old ass in there and put the belt on him? Because he's old. You know, he is old. Well, let's be honest. I love Samoa Joe, but he's old. NXT's not the brand for him to be holding. Like, why can't he just hold like the Intercontinental or the US belt or something? You know?
I was actually doing a little bit of research, and like the average age right now of WWE superstars on the main roster is like 35 and up. The youngest talent is like Seth Rollins and AJ Styles and a few of the NXT guys. But even Bobby Lashley, he's 45.
Yeah, well, Bobby's old. Bobby's been wrestling for a minute. See, this is where they need someone in there that just have creative thinking. Because if I was them, you could have easily kept Bronson Reed, put Bronson Reed with Samoa Joe, made him a tag team. let them dominate. See what I'm saying? Like there's so many things you could do. See, there's so many things you could do. They piss me off the way they do. They got all this talent, man. They don't know what the fuck to do with them, and it's just like you get rid of him, but then I got to watch Eve fucking Marie.
Agreed. We all know that that's going to end up with the doll doing something weird and the audience being mad and us not understanding the finish.
I'm so sick of Alexa Bliss and that damn gimmick, man. I've been over that. I'm sorry, man. That shit's fucking like over the top. I don't mind them doing cheesy shit like that every once in a while. They did cheesy shit like that in the 90s. People just don't want to say they did cheesy. Oh, well, you can go back and watch any of that Undertaker shit in the 90s just about, and some of that shit was cheesy as hell.
The Dungeon of Doom with Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, I mean, but they're definitely overplaying it. All right, we're going to take our first break. Do not forget this Saturday, I told the guys in the locker room, if they're paying attention and they're actually watching, about to reveal the new intro for Unchained. Credit to Mr. Matt Anarchy, who hooked the intro up. As you know, we changed from breakdown to Unchained, and it went from Sundays to Saturdays. Sundays are now for pay-per-views only. WGP Carnage is no longer a thing. It is now on Wednesdays, and it is called WGP Uprising. But this is the new intro for Unchained. I'm going to run this in another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about some news, and then we're going to jump into this WWE segment. Go ahead and move this thing along because it's going to take a minute to break some of this card down.
All right.
Chain reaction when my brain's in action, ice cold. Shit, my DNA strains Alaskan as I smash on the track like when trains are crashing. Tell the main attraction I'm gaining traction since by with the bar, the bang, diggy. I've been laying down flames and claiming my city, sipping true blood, pack the strain in my spliffy. Staying up late, grow fangs and get busy. And my tint's so dark, all you seeing is a silhouette through the smoke clouds from the marijuana cigarette. I'm off the chain like an evicted pet without a leash, cause I use that shit to strangle the friggin' vet. Up in the dog park, shitting on the lawn part, knocking everything off the shelves in a local Walmart. I'm raising hell until I'm getting it soon. Shit's in the bag like murder weapons in the evidence room, bitch. I'ma go ahead and do my thing. You just gotta let me off the chain. I'm off the chain, off the chain. You just gotta go and let me off the chain. I'm off the chain, off the chain.
It is the fun of trivia and the excitement of a tag team wrestling match, and it is coming soon. From the Open, today's lockup category is WWE Champions. To the comeback, Hot Tag! Hot Tag, a 400-point swing hangs in the balance with questions so easy you'll think that everybody can answer them. Making the tag to his partner for double points. And questions so hard, you'll think that nobody can answer them. Putting the heat on the other team, the question goes to you. Join RYK as we present you Hot Tag Wrestling Trivia Challenge. Hot Tag Wrestling Trivia Challenge is now casting teams of 3 to play in the game. Join up over at Revolution and Wrestling Geeks and Pariahs for eligibility and information.
To all the revolutionaries and pariahs out there, we have this special announcement for you. Do you wish to hold gold in the revolution in WGP? Are you afraid that your talents aren't good enough? Then, my friends, this offer is for you. Then order yourself the official WGP and Revolution replicas. You can have it all, from the Outbreak Championship, the Havoc Championship, the Tag Team Championships that I'm holding on my shoulder, and not only the Revolution, but also WGP Championship. But ladies and gentlemen, if an official replica title does not tickle your fancy, get your minis. So if you want to be like me and all the other champions out there, join the gold standard today by calling Patrick Shane.
Your winner, It's every promo fan's favorite saying, and now you too can start your day as a winner with the official RYK coffee mug. The RYK character coffee mug is now available and the perfect addition to your dinnerware. Whether it's a cup of hot joe, a nice microwave mug muffin, or even just holding pencils at your desk, you'll want the RYK coffee mug. These 9-ounce mugs will be shipping soon and quantities will be limited. They are available for the shipped price of $10 each, 2 for $15 or 5 for $30. Your winner, you.
I seem to have lost my co-host. I think maybe his phone might have died and he might be getting his charger or something. But that is, you can really order those coffee cups. That is not a joke. Mr. RYK does have those coffee cups. If you would like to order one of them, get with him. Also, as you see in the new intro for the new Unchained coming up this Saturday. Let's see, what else did we play in that mix? Also, the minis in the replica titles. You can order those. You get with Mr. Patrick Shane or get with me. We can order you one anytime. The minis are $50. The replicas can depend. You have to ask Patrick about that. I don't know exactly how much they run. I know the minis are $50 though. While we wait on my partner to get in here, let's go ahead and talk about the pay-per-view we got coming up this Saturday for Unchained. It's going to be very, very good. As you know, let me go ahead and look at the notebook right here. Just remind me real quick what the matches was. Yeah, NDT taking on the Warden. The winner of that will go on to face Mr. Chaos at the pay-per-view that has been moved. As you see, if you look down there in the ticker, it's been moved. It was originally supposed to be on the 29th. It's been moved to the 5th of September. The winner of that will face Mr. Chaos for the Outbreak Championship. Also, don't forget, after the pay-per-view, after Unchained this Saturday, not the pay-per-view, excuse me, you've got Mr. Chaos, who I will be sitting down with on Behind the Voice. It's titled Simply Chaos. So every one of them have a title. The last one was the Promo God, Mr. Chris Champion. This time we got Chaos. I've also probably got Mr. Steele down there coming up soon, also Behind the Voice, and maybe Jay Briggy. I don't remember if he still wants to do it or not. Those will still be pretty good. Also, you also got Stump versus Little Sweet. Apparently, we had a no-show, so Thirsty Jack's been removed from the chat rooms. Also, I don't know what happened, a miscommunication, something. You know how that shit goes. The main event is Harry versus, of course, Mr. Chaos. It's something been brewing for a while. I don't know exactly which way that one might swing. The judges are watching it now as we speak. It's going to be very, very interesting. So, I still do not see my co-host is still not back, Mr. Co-host. I don't know what you were doing, but you were leaving me hanging. Where did you go? Having a havoc being made right now. Sweet. Let's see here. Maybe Mr. Steele will be along here in a minute. While we wait on him, I'll go ahead and start diving into some of this news he sent me. I had seen this also. Let me pull it up. I got a message from Mr. Steele. What does it say? Oh, his power went out on him. Well, that just diddly sucks. He's trying to get it back up right now. But while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff. Let's see here. Oh, I forgot that he also sent me the Impact card. If you haven't been watching Impact, by the way, Christian Cage is now the champion. He is now the world champion over in Impact. He beat Kenny Omega for it. I don't know exactly how y'all feel about that, but I like it. But the only thing my issue is is don't you have to like, what do you do now with Kenny? Because now you've let Christian Cage beat Kenny. So you would almost say that it's probably pretty 100% sure that Kenny's probably going to drop the AEW title pretty soon, since he just dropped the Impact title. So that, or it's just because it's just too much for him or something. But I don't know. I don't have no problem with Christian Cage having it. I actually like Christian. I'm a huge Christian fan. Always have been. The dude looks like he's still in great shape. I mean, the dude's still stacked. I mean, I think he looks like he's almost in better shape now than he did at times when he was younger. Let's see here. You got Christian Cage taking on Brian Myers. The Impact World Tag Team Championships. 3-way match. You got the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Valiant. Eric Young, Rhino, Joe. I don't even know who like a couple of these people are. I know who Eric Young is. I know who Rhino is. Some of these other guys in here. I know who Rich Swann is. Got Willie Mack, Impact X Division Championship. Josh Alexander versus Jake something. That's literally what it says. Never watched Jake something. I've actually been wanting to sit down and check Impact out some. I've not watched them in a while. Christian being a champion over there would definitely make me want to watch it. You got the number one contender, Impact World Championship Fatal 4-way match between Chris Sabin, Sammy Callahan, Moose versus Ace Austin. Grudge match between Petey Williams and Steve McLean. I guess that's McLean. Is how you say that. McLean. Yeah, McLean's probably more like how you say that. Like I said, I've not watched Impact in years, guys. Not seriously anyway. Checking out a thing or two here and a thing or two there. So let me know in the comments, man. How do y'all feel about Christian Cage being the champion of Impact? Is he too old? Honestly, I think it's not going to hurt it at all. Impact is more interesting now than it's been in a while. I know they still struggle for TV ratings, but Impact has heart, man. I'll give it Impact from the standpoint of every time someone talks about bad ratings about shows, it's like I think it was RYK said to me, like, if Impact can survive on 300,000 fucking viewers a week, I'm pretty sure, Raw and SmackDown and all of them are fine, drawing almost 1 million or 700,000 or some shit. So I don't know. Let's see here. What else we got going on here? Of course, at SummerSlam, here's the card for SummerSlam that we were talking about. You got Edge versus Seth, which would be pretty fire. I got Edge probably going over in that. You got McIntyre and Mahal. As Josh said, Mahal could actually get over on McIntyre here. You got Goldberg versus Lashley. I swear to God, if Bill Goldberg wins this fucking championship, I am going to go the fuck off. There's no reason Goldberg should be the next champion, and he should not be beating Bobby Lashley at all. That's just a fucking embarrassment. I don't give a fuck how you look at it. Don't nobody tell me, oh, Goldberg still got it, and get the fuck out of my face with that. Goldberg's a fucking has-been. To me, it was almost a never was. To me, Goldberg's never been nothing fucking special. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. How likely is CM Punk to show up in AEW tomorrow? I give it a 0% chance. I think CM Punk may have signed and CM Punk may show up, but if he does, it's going to be at the pay-per-view, which is also still in Illinois. It's just not in Chicago. It's another part of Illinois, and it's like Maryland Heights or some fucking bullshit or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know if that's part of Chicago or not. I don't know exactly where that's located, but there's a good chance that is where CM Punk will show up. I don't see them wasting him for an hour show. I don't think it's, and they said that there's supposed to be a debut of someone. I don't think it's Daniel Bryan either. I wouldn't waste Daniel Bryan there either. I would save both of them for pay-per-views. I think it's Ruby Riott. They say I've seen things that saying that Ruby signed, and I got a good feeling it's probably Ruby Riott who's going to show up on, because it's just an hour little show. So I just don't see why they would waste him. But they might, man. I mean, you never know. It'd be the ultimate shock factor. But if a lot of people ain't taking that show seriously already and it just started, Oh man, that would be such a waste. Like, oh man, but I mean, people would start watching it from then on out. But then, how are you ever going to measure back up to that hour show on an hour show about like how you did that, man, with CM Punk? I just don't know. Also, you got, let's see here, got Cena versus Reigns. I don't want to see John win. I like Roman where he's at right now. Roman's like on this big row. He's like tearing it up. It looks like my camera's lagging a little bit. He's on this big row, and I don't want to see Cena win. And I'm not even going to get started on the whole part-timer spill, because it would just be stupid too. So, because you still can't deny the fact. Still can't deny the fact that Cena is still a name. Cena's still going to pull seats and asses. Cena's still going to sell tickets. So, part-time or not, I don't have a problem with him coming back and facing Roman at this match in SummerSlam. I just don't want him to win because Cena is not like Goldberg, part-time Goldberg. You know what I mean? So, let's see here. You also got the Usos versus Mysterios. I like the Mysterios. I don't really care for Ray. I like Dominic, though. I'm kind of over Ray. I feel Ray's played off. But I always brag on Dominic. People give Dominic hell. But I actually like Dominic right now. Dominic is like, to me, you don't never have those true blood faces anymore. And wrestling's become such a thing where heels are like such a huge thing. It's always good to have heels. Like, so everybody loves heels now. No one likes the true blue, baby face anymore, I feel like. And to me, Dominic fits that baby face role like to a T. I could never see Dominic as a bad guy. I just don't see it. He fits that would almost be like making Alberto, what's his name? Alberto, how the hell Hernando or whatever the hell his name was that they cut. He was such a baby face. But I like him. But I am over his daddy though. And I don't mean it to be disrespectful towards Ray. It's just Ray just don't do nothing that interests me anymore. I would like to see the Mysterios go over there, even though the Usos are kind of badasses right now. RK Bro versus AJ and Omos. I would not have a problem whichever way that shit went. AJ and Omos is entertaining. RK Bro was entertaining. Whether you like Riddle or not, that shit's funny right now. He's doing with Randy. Belair and Banks, I had expressed earlier that I think they're probably about to take the belt back off Belair and put it back on Banks. I could be wrong. I hope not. You also got Nikki versus Flair versus Ripley. Poor Nikki's about to get her title probably took from her right here. You got Priest and Sheamus. And as Josh said, Priest and Sheamus will probably put on a good match if they let them work and they give them time to go out there and work their match. That's a match that's going to slow. It's going to be slow at first and then slow build and slow build and slow build. I feel like if they give them time, it will be a good match. I do not know where my my co-host is. We're almost an hour in. We're not quite an hour in. We're 35:46 in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and skip this WWE segment. Josh can't help that his power went out. So what we'll do is the next podcast that I do, episode 2, we'll start the WWE segment thing. What I'll do now is I'll go ahead and I'll start what I like to call the Code Hard Facts segment. This is the part where I rant and rave about Code Hard Facts. The Code Hard Facts of it is that y'all blame Vince McMahon for way too much bullshit. And that's just the Code Hard Facts of it. Vince McMahon gets blamed for so much shit that he is not responsible for. Vince McMahon gets so much shit. I mean, if you go and look at the dirt sheets are fucking ridiculous. It's like Vince McMahon's not high on so-and-so. Vince McMahon says so-and-so's a midget. Vince McMahon's not doing this. I think, honestly, the bad thing is most people don't want to fucking admit it, but Vince McMahon probably not being involved in everyday operations like he used to be because of the age thing. I don't care what anyone says. I think Vince is not involved nowhere near as much as he used to be. It's just, look at the thing. You know how many damn dirt sheets I read that he was not high on Keith Lee, that he was done with Keith Lee, that he was about to cut Keith Lee, and all this shit. Then kind of find out it didn't even have nothing to fucking do with Vince McMahon. I think Vince McMahon people bury Vince way too fucking much. Am I going to sit here and take up for Vince and say Vince ain't a piece of shit? No. Vince McMahon is 100 degree piece of shit, cutthroat businessman. He always has been. He always will be. He don't give a fuck about you. He don't give a fuck about your family at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he's going to do what's best he thinks for business. And if it saves him a couple of $1 million, he don't give a fuck to fire you and then turn around and sign you to another contract literally 2 months later for half the pay that you was already making or what he already promised you. That's just how Vince McMahon does business. I think anybody knows by now that's the kind of Vince McMahon. That's just the way he is. And if you go into WWE having any other kind of mindset, you're probably going to be let the fuck down. It's full of fucking politics. It's on a mega superstar standpoint as far as a stage-wise goes. And that's just how it is with Vince McMahon. One day Tony Khan would probably be the same type of businessman. If he's not already that type of businessman, you're just not seeing it. You have to be cutthroat in some kind of way. You're going to get eaten alive out there in the business world. And Vince is very, very cutthroat. And because of that, he gets a real bad reputation. And who's to say, I'm not going to sit here and even argue the fact that he's probably borderline racist on certain levels, and he's a fucking steroid user and probably woman sex abuser and womanizer and all other kinds of things. But there's a lot of things that he gets blamed for that he is not in control of. He's not fucking doing. I think Triple H gets blamed for a lot of stuff also that he's not in control of. Now I'm seeing this thing that they're saying that Triple H is to blame for the failure of the Wednesday night wars against AEW and all this other bullshit. And I just don't even know if I buy into that. There's so many dirt sheets now. They're literally the tabloids of wrestling. It's got so ridiculous that half the shit I see they print ain't even don't even come true. It don't even come close to being fucking true. It's so bad that even Aleister Black called him out about it. About how it wasn't even close to how it went down, how they said that he was released and all kinds of shit. And they said so many other things, and he was just humbled to be there. And of course, that kind of flipped a little later once he signed with AEW. Then it sounded like he was a little bit more sour about it. But it's just that's the cold hard facts. And the other cold hard fact is that Dave, Mr. Uncle Dave, shows a lot of favoritism towards AEW. He gives AEW matches 5-star matches because he is literally the definition of an old guy trying to fit in with the young crowd, and he wants to fit in. No one's ever really accepted Dave and took Dave serious as far as wrestling writing. Maybe at one point they did. Dave's not been took serious for years, and he just keeps making an ass of himself. There's some more cold hard facts for you. That's going to be about our show tonight, guys. This was our pretty much our test run. Mr. Josh still has not got his power up and running. So we're going to go ahead and cut this one short. Episode 2 could be next week, the week after. This is not going to be an every week thing, probably on a regular basis. Try to fit 1 or 2 shows in a month or something that way. I don't want to burn people out. I think that's one problem with some podcasts. I think they're ran way too much. I just don't know how much you would want to sit there and watch me and still talk wrestling. So maybe once or twice a month, we'll try to do this thing, and the next show we'll definitely get on the WWE segment and start breaking down the card. If you want to play along, that would be even awesome. You could even go as far as telling me how you would book it. We're going to start literally we'll go in alphabetical order, and we're going to start at A and we'll go to Z. Each episode will have, we're not going to do it all in one episode. So like one episode would be like A through E or some shit, or, so A through F or something. And then the other part, because there's a lot of members. Like if you don't believe me, go look at WWE.com and look how many people that WWE has on their roster. When you look at NXT UK, NXT and SmackDown and and Raw, there's a lot of fucking people. And there's a lot of people they don't even use. And there's people there that I didn't even know is there. And I don't even know who the hell they are. Some of them are independent people and stuff. So thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for the comments. Spread the word around. Make sure also this Saturday, we got the Unchained coming up. Remember, after that, sit down with Mr. Chaos, the Outbreak Champion, and we're going to have a little sit down. Make sure you join in on that too. Come and ask Mr. Vince some personal questions. Behind the Voice is all about being out of character. I sit down with guys and we talk about personal level stuff, everything from the time they were growing up to what got them into promos and wrestling and such, and things like that. If you want to be on Behind the Voice, just reach out. If you want to be come on the podcast sometime with me and Mr. Steele and discuss wrestling, you are more than welcome to. All you got to do is let me know. We'd love to have a guest on the podcast. That would be awesome. Maybe I can get, maybe later on down the road, maybe I can try to grab an interview or two from some of our great, good guys I know that's on our page. I'm not going to say their name because I don't want them to be harassed, but they are on our page. There's a few of them. One reason I never bug them, I always feel like anytime someone of any kind of importance that's ever been in a ring is on someone's page, you get the shit bugged out of them. So maybe I can reach out to one of those guys and bring one of those guys on or something and get them down for an interview or something. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Y'all have a kick-ass night. And remember, this is the cold, hard facts, and this is the straight up don't give a fuck podcast.